Hi guys, I'm Saumya and I am back with another video. So if you are a book lover, then you should definitely subscribe to this channel because I make loads of bookish content, and do not forget to press the bell icon so that you get notified every time I post a new video. If you like this video, please do give it a thumbs up and also share it. So a few days back I had posted a vlog showing you guys the new location of the Sunday book market of Daryaganj, a market where you can get your hands on affordable books. You can check that video out if you haven't. I'll leave the link for that in the description. So in the comment section of that video, I was literally inundated with comments like, how can you differentiate between a pirated copy and an original copy? So I thought that I should make a video on this because trust me, I have been in that position where I ended up buying a pirated copy, and when I came home I regretted it immensely. This used to happen until a few years back, but then I got really careful. So today's video is based on totally my own experience, and since I've been following these tips, I haven't bought a single pirated book. If you would like to add your own tips, let me know in the comments. Just help each other out. So let's get started. A very realistic disclaimer that I would like to give you based on my own experience is that in order to decipher whether a copy is pirated or original, you have to spend time. You can't just pick it up, casually flip through it and just know if it's pirated or not, because there are things that you have to keep in mind. So yeah, it's a bit time consuming, so know that. So I'll start with the most obvious sign that there is to spot a pirated book. The cover will be faded, and not in a way that makes it look old, but in a way that makes it look washed out, in a way that it was not printed properly, that the colors didn't come up on the paper properly, and the paper of the cover will be very thin. Also, the papers inside the book will also be very thin. When you'll flip through the book, it'll seem like the pages have been photocopied, and in some extreme cases the ink on one side of the page will be bleeding on the other. So you know, this is the first most obvious sign, and if you see all these things together in one book, then obviously that's a pirated book. Now moving on to the next thing that is not that obvious on the first glance and requires a little more time and effort on your part is noticing the pages and the text on those pages in a book, in a copy. It has happened a lot of times with me that I've picked up a book which looked perfect to me on the first glance, but then when I flipped through it, I found pages where the text was overlapping. Now consider this, you get a book at less price, affordable price, and you feel that you got a steal deal, but when you get back home and you actually start reading that book, you come across 5-6 pages at a stretch that have overlapping text. The less amount of money that you paid also went down the drain because you can't read overlapping text. The next thing to notice also requires a bit of your time, and it also is related to the text and the pages, which is that in some books that look perfectly original at the first glance, when you flip through those books very carefully, you sometimes come across again 5-6 pages at a stretch that are completely blank. I don't know what's worse, overlapping text or the blank pages. In both the cases, you are not able to read that part of the book and it spoils your reading experience. A pirated copy is not that bad if at least the text is complete, if at least the content is all there inside the copy. But in case of many pirated copies, the content is missing. The next thing to notice is the faded text. In this case, the text is there, it's not overlapping, it's not missing, it's there, but it's faded. Now it really depends on the kind of compromise level you have. If you are okay with compromising with the faded text as long as you are able to read it. There are people who are very strict about these things. They don't like faded text. In fact, very recently I had my own experience with a pirated copy. I had ordered Underground by Murakami from Amazon, and guess what, they had sent me a pirated copy of this book. This one in my hand is original because I had it returned and I had gotten my refund and ordered it again. How did I know that it was pirated? The cover was completely off. Murakami was going somewhere upwards, Underground was going somewhere downwards, and the text inside the book was completely faded. I mean, getting pirated books for less price is bad enough. Imagine getting a pirated book when you pay for the original. Now the next thing to notice is the number of pages. I have told you about the missing text, overlapping text, faded text. Now talking about the number of pages. For this also you have to flip through the book properly and spend your time and effort. So something like this often happens in pirated books. Page number 50 and the next page, instead of being page number 51, is page number 56. Where did the 5 pages in between go? They are just not there. Now that I've dispensed all my gyan and knowledge that I had gained through my hard-earned experience, let me tell you and let me show you the proof of the mistakes I made before I became this wise. I'll show you the pirated copies that I have. You see this copy of Inferno by Dan Brown? My dear, this is pirated. It's very obvious. You can see, look at the cover. The brown of Dan Brown is literally trying to escape from the cover, and the cover looks of Inferno. Eye of Inferno is just almost faded, and there is nothing here. There is literally nothing here. And in terms of the page quality also, it's very thin. And just look at the two original copies of other Dan Brown books that I have. You see, the brown of Dan Brown is far away from the margin. And in case of this copy also, the brown of Dan Brown is away from the margin. It's not literally trying to escape. And in terms of the page quality of both the books, let me tell you, they are very thick. Both, in case of both these books. In case of the original copy, when you open it, you have a picture here of another book. In case of the back cover also, you have a picture. And you know, the title of this book is raised. It's not something that's faded. And the same applies for this book as well. In case of this one, it has a proper book jacket. If you do not want to own a pirated copy, you should look for these things, pay attention to these things. So that was it for today's video. I hope you liked it. If you want to connect with me on my social media, the links are in the description box. I'll see you in my next video. Till then, bye bye and take care.